Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I'm Janelle and let's get into some makeup. Today's video is a very important video. It's all about how do you get non-cakey, long-lasting makeup. I have oily skin for reference, but over the years there are some steps that I've incorporated into my makeup routine that always guarantees that my makeup comes out as flawlessly as possible. I know makeup will look like makeup, but sometimes if we go too overboard or too heavy with a product, it can just look like if that makeup is just sitting on the skin and it's not a very nice look. So these steps that I've, gone through over the years always guarantees that my makeup blends in seamlessly. Everything is flawless. So that's what I'm going to be walking you through today. Hopefully you get some tips. Hopefully you get some things that you can incorporate into your makeup routine. If cakey foundation and makeup not lasting is an issue for you, well then I think this video is going to be perfect for you. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video where I actually show you how my skin looks with the makeup applied. So with that said, let me just jump right in and get started. Now, one of the steps that I've been going in with is incorporating a moisturizer because, perfect makeup always needs good skin prep. For this step, I've been going in with the Simple Clear Skin Oil Balancing Moisturizer. Alright, and this is the tube that it comes in. This is what the product looks like. Although I have oily skin, it is still so important to go in and moisturize. Oily skin still needs moisture, guys. It still does. And what I like about that one is that yes, I'm getting my moisture in, but it's actually all balancing because it has zinc in it. It's naturally antibacterial, so if you have any skin concerns, it's a great product and I really like it. The next step for me, now that that moisturizer has, sunk into my skin, is to go in with a mattifying primer. As I said, I have oily skin, so this one works perfectly for me. This is the L'Oreal Infallible, the Matte Lock Primer. It's a mattifying primer, and I just concentrate this in my T-zone. And I make sure to really work it into my pores. Now when it comes to foundation, I find, and this is me personally, I find that going in with just about 1 pump of a full coverage foundation works perfectly for me. I remember when I started my makeup, sometimes I would go in with like 3 pumps of the actual foundation, and that was just way too much. And the foundation would be sitting on my skin. When I set the actual foundation down, that powder wouldn't penetrate deep enough into the actual makeup, into the foundation, to really set it down. So for foundation today, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Superstay foundation. It's not about the products, but really about the techniques. But all of the products that I use are going to be linked in the description box for you guys to check out. So this is all we need, just 1 pump of foundation. And I'm going to concentrate it around the outer part of my face because, as you know, we're going with our concealer in the center of our face to brighten. And if you have hyperpigmentation, you can just always go in with a concealer that's the same shade as your foundation, and just do spot correcting underneath. I find that gives, you know, the makeup a beautiful, beautiful finish, and you're not packing too much foundation on your face. So I'm just going to blend this out now. Alright, so we're nicely blended out, and as you can see, that foundation has given me coverage and it doesn't look too thick on the skin. And we don't want our foundation to just look too thick on the skin. I'm going to conceal now. Just that much. I normally like to place some around my nose and above my lip. I find this area above my lip really sweats, so I just need to go in with some concealer just to make sure it's covered. And we're building on the products. So I have that foundation down on my forehead, and the concealer is going to just add a little bit more coverage in the center of my forehead. And that's important. You have to remember you're layering products on top of one another, and each layer makes it harder to set the products underneath down. So you want to make sure that you're going in with as little product as necessary. Now that I've concealed, I'm going to actually set and bake my under eyes. We still want it, it's still going to not be cakey, but we want the makeup to be long lasting. And as we know, concealer is thicker than your foundation. So I'm just going to go in and bake. I find I get the smoothest under eye when I bake. And since I get sweaty around these areas, it really does make my makeup last all day. Now we have to actually set that foundation down and to really lock it in. And because we've only gone in with like a thin layer, as thin as possible with the foundation, it makes it so much easier to set that foundation in place. It's not a thick layer where the powder is just sitting on the top of the foundation. The powder, because the foundation layer is so thick, is able to really get in there and set that powder down. I'm using the black Opal Soft Velvet Finishing Powder in the shade 400 Medium. I like to put some powder in my cap, get my powder brush, and just work some of it into that brush, and just go in and press that powder into the skin. And so far everything is just looking so flawless on my face. Nothing feels heavy. Everything is nice and set. So I'm just really pushing that powder into the face. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly bronze. And this is yet another layer of product that we are applying. But because we went in with just one pump of that foundation, and we also set. So we're building it up, but the layers aren't too thick. I'm going to go in now with that same black opal powder that I used to set my foundation down, and I'm just going to do some, reverse contouring here, just to clean up the bronzer and to make sure that this area is really set down, because we don't go over this area with bronzer. So I'm just making sure that that foundation is nicely set, and we can always just dust off the excess when we're done. Alright, so I did my brows and did a very quick eye look off camera. So I'm just going to dust away that bake now. The under eyes are smooth, nicely set. Alright, and we are, as I expected, looking flawless. Let me just put a quick lip on. This no lip is totally throwing me off. Alright guys, so face is complete, and the final step, and I think we all know we should always set our makeup in place. I'm going to use the Maybelline Lasting Fix Makeup Setting Spray. This is a 16-hour wear matte finish, and just down the center in an X, and we're good. And I like to take my puff and just push that setting spray in. Alright, so let me show you guys my skin up close. I'll lean in for you to see. And as you can see, the foundation is nicely set. The under eyes are looking smooth, nothing cakey. Alright, we're nicely bronzed and everything. So I have a very thin layer of foundation on, because we definitely don't need to go overboard with the foundation. I made that mistake for so many years. I know hopefully this video will help you to not make that mistake and realize, as I said, you can go in with a concealer that's the same shade as your foundation, and you can spot correct any hyperpigmentation marks that you may have, and then go in with just about one pump of the foundation. If you need a little bit more coverage, you can build it up a little bit more and just tailor it to your skin. But I find that when I pull back in terms of the amount of foundation that I'm using, and that I make sure that I bake my under eyes, that gives me the most flawless. As you can see, I also baked my cheekbone to really set that foundation down. I went over my forehead with the powder and also the bronzer, so that's another layer that's on top of there, and we made sure to set everything down. Alright guys, so I hope you like this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you found it helpful, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. Join the family here in Makeup Land. We love makeup, we love techniques, we also love testing new products, and I post videos every Wednesday and every Saturday. Alright guys, so I hope you found this helpful. Go on, have a fantastic day, be fabulous as always, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!